I am at the Captain Kimberly Hampton Memorial Park, and I thought I would document this while I have a chance, and people who may not want to be in the film are not in the film, so here I am. And one of the things that made me think here, remember in mythology of relating to Shiva and such things, such names and personages, that kind of looks like that trident. And definitely war is sort of a destroyer and a benefactor at the same time. And I'll read off the plaque. Operation Dragonfly was founded as a community effort to establish a memorial park, including an OH-58D Kiowa Warrior helicopter at the Captain Kimberly Hampton Library in Pickens County, South Carolina. The name Operation Dragonfly honors Kimberly and her parents, Anne and Dale Hampton. If you remember some of my other videos, valor's an important thing that I talk about. The OH-58 Kiowa, named in honor of the Native American tribe, is a family of single-engine, single-rotor military helicopters. The OH-58D model has been called the most successful helicopter program in the U.S. Army. The Kiowa was first introduced in Vietnam in 1969 as a two-seat scout helicopter. Its mission was to fight through the enemy's air defenses network, find enemy ground formations, and then direct U.S. air and ground assets in a synchronized operation to destroy the enemy. The Kiowas and the crews that flew and maintained them excelled in this role. The helicopter quickly gained a reputation for being exceptionally effective on the battlefield while remaining inexpensive to build and maintain, well, compared to other stuff with the military, of course. The military is one of the biggest. I think the military in my country, what do they say? The 32 military spending countries number 2 through 33 have the budget that ours does. In the early 1990s, the Kiowa was upgraded for the increasingly lethal modern battlefield in the Persian Gulf, and a 50 caliber machine gun. 4 Hellfire anti-tank missiles were added to increase its ability and to defeat modern armies equipped with advanced armored capabilities. A key element in the Kiowa's upgrade was the mass-mounted sight MMS and an advanced array of sensors that allows the crew to detect, identify, designate, and engage multiple targets day or night while minimizing helicopter exposure. In Iraq and Afghanistan, the Kiowa sustained its reputation for lethality and durability by maintaining the highest mission capable rate on any Army aviation rotary wing aircraft, despite amassing flight and combat hours far in excess of those envisioned by the original designers. The Kiowa's exceptional reliability and the willingness of its crews to accept any risk necessary to provide support for the ground troops in contact with enemies soon earned the aircraft the nickname of Angel in the Sky among U.S. ground troops. The stress of even the most dangerous ground operations was relieved by the simple phrase, "We've got a Kiowa attack team as air support." In 2014, the Army decided to retire older helicopters to reduce the operating cost and allow for investment in the next generation of aircraft. As part of this effort, the Kiowa was scheduled for retirement in June 2016. Members of the 1st Squadron, 17th Cavalry Regiment, 82nd Combat Aviation Brigade arrived in South Korea as part of the Kiowa's latest development. In January 2017, the last Kiowa Warrior performed its last maneuver before retirement. Even as its distinguished duty in the U.S. Army came to an end, the Kiowa's unmatched combat record placed it in high demand amongst our allies, many of which continue to employ this battle-proven helicopter today. And Operation Dragonfly Board of Directors, result of years of work to create a place of honor in Kimberly's sacrifice and educate and inspire the young. The Dragonfly story. Dragonflies took on a special meaning for Kimberly's parents and Anne Hampton soon after the daughter's death. A friend gave them a small children's book that likened the metamorphosis of a water bug to a dragonfly the process of becoming, I guess, is what we should be thinking about. The passage from earthly to heavenly life. Then, in May of 2004, 5 months after Kimberly's death, Anne and Dale experienced the first dragonfly encounter. They were at a memorial service during All-American Week at Fort Bragg, watching thousands of soldiers pass in review, just as Kimberly's Dark Horse troopers of the 82nd Airborne, newly home from Iraq, began to pass by. A dragonfly lit on a rope between the seating area and the field, right in front of the bereaved couple. The delicate flying insect shaped like a helicopter stayed with them until the last of Kimberly's troops passed. Its presence brought them a measure of peace. Dragonflies have appeared many times since then when the Hamptons needed comfort, like little helicopters from God. It is their wish that other grieving parents may find the same comfort in this memorial park and know that they are not alone. Now, I've heard of people being comforted through the, even black birds that are kind of problem-causing. Well, they don't have to be problem-causing necessarily, but crows and stuff. So we have we have pictures here. Kimberly Nicole Hampton, daughter of Easley residents Anne and Dale Hampton, was born August 18th, 1967. She had a joyful childhood surrounded by family and friends. She attended Forest Acres and West End elementary schools and Easley Junior High. Kimberly was a student at Easley High and graduated with honors in 1994. She played on the United States Tennis Association junior circuit through her school years and was on the South Carolina All-State women's tennis team. Her interest in the military service started early in life. As a child, playing Army with her best friend Sam, who lived next door. She served as the 1st Battalion Commander for the Easley's High's new Navy Junior ROTC in her senior year and received an appointment to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. And Kimberly soared from one achievement to the next due to her dedication and hard work. She had to overcome adversity starting early in her life. As a toddler, she fell down more than other children. Her doctor said she'd never be able to run without falling and recommended corrective shoes, but Kimberly was determined. Soon she was running and playing like any other child, and normal tennis shoes replaced the heavy corrective footwear. She also overcame scoliosis, an abnormal curvature of the spine, to become a top athlete and pursue her military career. That's another thing that I definitely promote, is figuring out, okay, this is how I can accomplish this and getting things done despite one's limitations. Kimberly attended Furman University as a freshman and graduated from Presbyterian College with honors in 1998. She was undefeated in women's singles tennis, 27-0 record in the South Atlantic Conference, and was the SAC Female Athlete of the Year in 1998. She was the commander of the Highlander Battalion of ROTC at Presbyterian College and was awarded the coveted Weissor Sabre as the top cadet in her graduating class. If I could ask Santa for anything in the world, it would be the ability to fly. I've always wanted to fly over the treetops like a bird, then swoop down to catch a newborn robin that fell out of its nest. If I could fly, I would go to the Grand Canyon, then Paris and China. If I could fly, I would visit many sick places I will never get to go or see on land. Being able to fly is a lot to ask for, but someday it might happen. And the fourth grade Christmas book, and gives some more angles of this copter. There's in an Egyptian pyramid, there's something, not pyramid or tomb or something, there's what looks quite like a copter, but I don't really think it is. It's, there's other. Easley native Captain Kimberly N. Hampton began her military career as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army on May 9th, 1998. Immediately upon graduation from Presbyterian College, she served until her death on January 2nd, 2004. At the age of 27, she was America's first female combat pilot killed in battle, and she is remembered for her love of country, dedication to her troops, and her sparkling smile. One of the things that's happened in my country is it's been a while that it hasn't been our whole military history where we've had this equal opportunity for women, but it should be based on abilities. Kimberly graduated second in her class from flight school at Fort Rucker, Alabama, and qualified to fly a helicopter. She listed the Kiowa Warrior OH-58, Delta OH-58D as her first choice of aircraft. She was granted that request. She was assigned to Camp Stanton, a small installation in northern South Korea near DMZ, flying reconnaissance for the 2nd Infantry Division. Their mission was to discourage the North Koreans from coming south. At the time, prior to September 11th, 2001, it was the closest Army assignment to a real-world mission, except for peacekeeping in Bosnia and Kosovo. Sometimes peacekeeping can be the most dangerous thing, but Kimberly made friends on a base and off, playing tennis with a Korean colonel at a nearby base, volunteering with children from a local orphanage, and teaching English to Korean soldiers stationed at the camp. While in Korea, Kimberly earned her pilot in command designation by passing a rigorous test that enabled her to be in charge of her own aircraft, served as a platoon leader, and was promoted to the rank of captain. Home from Korea, 2002, Kimberly attended the Captain's Career Course at Fort Rucker, graduated with honors, and reported to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, with American and coalition forces. Joined in Operation Enduring Freedom. Kimberly soon was sent to the Bagram airfield in Afghanistan, where she worked 12-hour shifts as a battle captain for Task Force Pegasus of the 82nd Aviation Brigade. She tracked aircraft and kept equipment, supplies, and communications flowing, and prepared briefings on air missions across the country. A medevac officer described her as that voice on the other end of the radio that got us home, but she was tied to a desk and didn't get to fly. I get to fly quite a bit. It's awesome. Korea is a beautiful place. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade my time here for anything. And that was one of her emails to her family. Once back at Fort Bragg, Kimberly logged long flight hours in the evenings after work to get back to her ride of choice, the OH-58D. She requested an aviation command and passed her airborne qualifications at Fort Benning, Georgia, and achieved her dreams of commanding troops in the high respected 82nd Airborne Division. Her final tour of duty took her to Iraq as commander of Delta Dark Horse Troop, 1st Squadron, 17th Cavalry. The Armed Reconnaissance Aviation Squadron of the 82nd Airborne Division. Kimberly was known as Dark Horse 6, the number 6, being the designation for the troop commander. There's all sorts of number and other symbolism that, for sympathetic, contagious, magical purposes, people can say stuff about, but, you don't have to involve that for the physical reality to actually still be physical reality. It's just something to refer to. She was based at Al-Takbadoum, an abandoned airfield west of Fallujah, an area of fierce fighting in Operation Iraqi Freedom. She was providing cover to American ground forces raiding an illegal weapons market on the bank of the Euphrates River in Fallujah when a heat-seeking surface-to-air missile went into the exhaust system of her helicopter and knocked off the tail boom. The OH-58D Kiowa Warrior spun out of control and crashed. Kimberly died instantly. Overseas service, Korea 2000-2001, Operation Enduring Freedom, Afghanistan 2002-2003, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Iraq 2003-2004, military education, rotary wing aviator 1999, aviation officer basic course 1999, warrior aviator qualification course 1999, aviation officer advanced course 2002, and there's born August 18th, 1976 to January 2nd, 2004. If there's anything I can say to ease your mind, if anything ever happens to me, you can be certain that I'm doing the things I love. Certainly, there are women that enjoy the battles and such just as much as men. I'm living my dreams for sure, living life on the edge at times and pushing the envelope, but I'm doing things others only dream about from the safety and comfort of home. I wouldn't trade this life for anything. I truly love it, so wonder if you must. But you can be sure that your only child is living a full, exciting life and is happy. Thank you for always supporting me. I love you. Her email to her parents February 4th, 2003. And what would there be a signature with an email? Doesn't. And her legacy. Dark Horse D Troop 117 Cavalry. Captain Kimberly N. Hampton was honorably discharged from the U.S. Army as KIA, killed in action. However, the Easley native truly lived her dream. She served her country as a soldier, an aviator, and a commander. She was a bold leader, a loyal friend, and an inspiration to many who served with her. It is hoped that her story will continue to inspire new generations of young people to bravely follow their own dreams, and that her memory will honor her brothers and sisters who served in all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces. Bronze Star with Oak Leaf Cluster, Purple Heart, Air Medal, Order of St. George Distinguished Knight, Captain Kimberly Hampton Memorial Library, Pickens Library Headquarters, Easley, South Carolina. Captain Kimberly Hampton Historical Marker, South Carolina. Flagpole, Easley, South Carolina City Hall. Oh, I didn't notice that. I've been by there. Kimberly Hampton Freedom Award, Easley High School, NJROTC. And the Post Humus Awards. Wall of Valor, Pickens County Memorial Garden. Oh, all these are posthumous awards. Kimberly Hampton Memorial Highway, 8 miles. Highway 88, Anderson County, South Carolina. Army ROTC Hall of Fame, Presbyterian College, Clinton, South Carolina. Armed Forces Memorial, U.S. Flagpole and Plaque, Presbyterian College. Captain Kimberly Hampton ROTC Scholarship, Presbyterian College. Captain Kimberly Nicole Hampton Chapter, Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 845. The Hampton Building, 1st Squadron, 17th Cavalry Regiment, Headquarters, 82nd Airborne Division, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. 82nd Airborne Division Hall of Fame, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Kimberly Hampton Primary School, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Global War on Terrorism Monument, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Yeah, not everybody needs military-grade weapons. Thank you very much. Captain Kimberly Hampton Field, Leaders Reaction Course, Army ROTC, Advanced Camp, Fort Lewis, Washington. And the Service Awards, Army Commendation Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster, Army Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Korea Defense Service Medal, Army Service Ribbon, Overseas Service Ribbon, Combat Action Badge, Army Aviator Badge, Parachutist Badge, Weapons Qualification Badge, Expert Pistol, and now one thing that I did used to do is make sort of sun clocks, and obviously north, south, east, and west, but what direction does the sun rise? What direction does the shadows fall? And there are plenty of things in life that work with or without meaning, but meaning and intention is important to consider. And did I catch that plaque?